Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Travis and this is my dad. His name is Rick. Today we're going to be assembling this rare GMC 302 cubic inch engine. Everything is back from the machine shop and cleaned and ready to be put back together. Very quick backstory on what we're doing here. So Dad and I pulled a big rig GMC out of a hole in Wilcox. It's been 6-7 months ago, something like that. And it had this rare GMC 302 in it. Not a lot of trucks came with them. Old guys used to race them back in the day. This is not going to be a race engine, but I've never had one and I wanted to rebuild one. So I took this engine out of that big old truck and then I went all the way to Mena, Arkansas to pick up another quite rare vehicle, right? Chevys are easier to get than GMCs. It's a short bed GMC half-ton that's just got the right look. It's not rotted out. It's a really good solid truck. It doesn't have an engine or a trans, so I don't feel bad about putting this in it because I don't like yanking apart original stuff. But hey, if there's no drivetrain, it's fair game. The goal by the end of this video is to get this thing completely put back together and painted up and ready to start. Like,
oh, you're gonna paint it?
Yes, we're gonna paint it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna paint it. The only thing I don't have that we would need to start it is an adapter plate to go on the back, because I need an adapter plate because I'm not going to be using like a factory style transmission like one of those old granny gear 4-speeds or a 3 on the tree. This truck is going to get a little bit modified slightly. I want to put an automatic behind it, probably a 700 R4. I love the overdrive. I want this truck to be cool and original looking, but you can get in it, crank it, put it in drive and drive it anywhere. Drive it on the highway, drive it around town, and it's reliable and good to go. I want to give a huge shout out to Cantor Auto Parts for helping supply some of the engine parts for this build. They supplied the gasket kit and some other hard parts to help this engine go together. I actually got their last GMC 302 gasket kit. Sorry to anyone else that's looking to build one. I got the last head gasket. Was really glad they had that. They have a lot of really good, hard to find parts for these old cars and trucks. So if you're looking for parts for your restoration, make sure you go to Cantor Auto and pick yourself up some parts because they have really good quality stuff. I just set some of these parts on here to get them off the ground, but we'll start in reverse of how we put it together. I think we'll start with assembling the bottom end. Ooh, let me get this intake and exhaust off. Before I turn it around, we're going to put a piston ring in there and see what the gap is, which we don't think it's going to be very good. I'm just warning you, because when I sent this to the machine shop to have it cleaned, I had the deck of the block decked and I had the deck of the head also decked to be nice and flat. They said that these things were pretty worn, and I said, well, I understand, but there's really nothing I can do because they don't sell parts for this. I can't buy 40 over pistons for this engine, which is what he said I would need, and it just doesn't exist. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and so I do have, and look at the rings I had to get. No one, even Eggy, I know everyone's going to say these different manufacturers, but Eggy's the best, and they did not have rings for this engine. I had to go on eBay and buy new old stock GMC. Look at that emblem. They haven't used that emblem since the 50s, and I had to buy original. Look at this wax paper, guys. Look at what we're dealing with here. Look at where we're at. Okay, made in USA. That just shows you how old it is. We're just gonna see.
You have a feeler gauge?
Yeah, I got feeler gauges.
Yeah, I bet you. You check them twice. You check them at the top and then you check them at the bottom too.
Okay.
Usually all your wear's at the top. Stop it. What do you... What? What? What do you want?
Come on.
Crooked, you know? See, now check your clearance.
Oh, that's a lot better. This
Yeah,
engine's like brand new.
Right. I mean, because if you don't get them in there exactly, I push them in there with a piston because
it perfectly levels them in the bore.
it levels.
Okay, that's fairly tight.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't go all the way down, so let's try something. Let's try something a little bit thinner. Yeah. All right, so we got 35.
Push it down to the bottom. I mean,
All right, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Well,
is that to the bottom?
no,
of
I mean it's not to the bottom.
Because that's hypothetically the part of the cylinder that's not.
That's worn the least.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably good. This one is
Around 10 to 12 thousandths.
22.
Wear.
10 to 12 thousandths difference there. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
See, when you get this thing cranking nice and hot, them rings will expand and it'll be gapless.
Oh yeah.
Gapless rings, you know?
Good.
Yeah, go ahead. Couple more hits. It's pretty even there. You want to take it out? All right, pull that out.
It's exactly against the block.
That's perfect. Lined up. I'd say leave her there.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks right from here. So
Sure.
yeah,
Hit it.
you should be able to go ahead. Yeah, there you go. One more. All right, loosen it
I
up.
still think do a little bit more, but
Well, look at the rest of the block. Ooh, 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 watch out.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I could use another one. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. Probably one more. All right. Looks good.
Okay.
Nobly. What are you doing? What are you doing? Woof, woof. Woof, woof. Here, doggies? I wanted to make a quick announcement. All the t-shirts have been restocked at thetravisb.com. A lot of sizes were out, a lot of sizes were really low, but all shirts are now back in stock and Novally approved. I always thank you guys for your support watching the videos. If you want to support in a more direct way, you can always pick yourself up a shirt. I got the Travis B button-up work shirt. You want to hold that? Hold that. There you go. The Travis B logo on it, button-up, breast pockets. This is a great mechanic shirt. And then this is the 46 International shirt. You want to grab that? There you go. Show the people. Yeah. This is also a great shirt. This is the one that sold out the most, so everyone's loving this shirt. They come in short sleeve. We figured the majority of people wear short sleeve. Okay, I'll let you run around. Where are you going, rascal? Tell everyone thank you for their support. Thank you. Novaly's doing good. Haven't put her on the channel in a while. She's 14, almost 15 months old, walking everywhere, babbling a lot, saying a few words. Mama, dada, says woof. She can say I and she knows where it is. She can say nose. She says nose, but she says no. What is that, your nose? 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 It's carnage over here. It's carnage. Those are shackles. You know what would be neat is to make a channel or make a video where we do things together. I feel like that's an idea. She's a little young still to be out in the shop. It's pretty dangerous, and she literally just 5 seconds ago tried to open up the grease thing and stuck her hands in grease, so a little dangerous yet, but she'll learn. I can't wait to have her out with me doing things in the future. Alright, instead of putting the camshaft in, we're gonna hone all these cylinders so that we can put the crank in, because there's a plate that goes here, and I kind of forgot about that. So you can't put the cam in until you put this plate on, can't put this plate on until you put the crank in, you know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds of prerequisites, and we've never used one of these before. I never have, so yeah, we'll give this a go. You always used a straight stone hone, but these things, I guess they get in all the grooves. With a stone hone, it's flat and you can see all of the dip, what is it? You can see all the
any divots.
Yeah.
These make you feel like you've really done it. Everything's good.
Yeah. Here, you want to spray some of this thing? Whoa.
Gotta go fast.
All right, hold on. Let me get in position here. Am I getting down on the bottom?
Go faster, go faster.
Boy.
Boy, that looks professional.
Yeah. That thing's been bored and everything.
Yeah, been bored.
I'm gonna have gapless rings after that. Bore looks perfect. Cross hatching and everything.
Board and sleeve.
Now we can turn it back over and set a few of the mains in, right? So these are my rod bearings. Look at the box they came in. Old school, new old stock. I never even heard of this company. Rocks, made in USA, San Francisco. Wow. So here's the bearings, and I also ordered a harmonic balancer from that. It's just a guy who has this stuff. His dad used to have a business selling parts for these old engines, and the business is defunct, but he's just selling off what he has. Luckily, he's got some of the stuff that I need. So here's the harmonic balancer with the rubber and the ring around it. This was the one that came off the truck. It doesn't even have none of the rubber or nothing on it. So now we're going to put the rear main seal in, and they gave us a little kit for this. This isn't like a modern seal. This whole engine's antiquated. That's okay. This is what you call a rope seal, and it's literally like a braided rope. They're old school, but they friggin' work. Okay. Or engine oil. I'm going to just use a little bit of engine oil. Okay. This is the gap. This is about 15 thousandths. They don't want you to cut it flush. They want it to be 15 thousandths taller than the surface. Okay.
I like it. Don't get rid of that.
Here's the head.
One end.
Crank is set in. We got all the main caps sitting here where they should go, and all the main bearings are in the caps. Here's the one with the thrust bearing. You can see that it takes a 90 around the side of the cap, and it does the same thing on the engine. A lot of people know what it is, some people don't. Stops the crankshaft from moving this way. It'll jitter back and forth. If that wasn't there, the tolerances are so, even on newer engines, the 12 valves have this, the thrust bearing. It stops it from moving this way. And you can tell if a motor's worn by a lot of ways, but if you have an engine on the ground, we had a Cummins that was like this. It was so bad. It was wore out to the max, and it was a manual. And when that thrust bearing wears out, you'll actually be able, with a complete engine that's all together, if you take a pry bar to the flywheel and you pry it back, you'll be able to move the whole crankshaft back and forth like that. And that engine, it moved back and forth probably that much. It was crazy. You'll see that happen more so in manuals, because when an engine is under a hard load, that's typically when they want to move this way. On an automatic, the gear shifts are a little more fluid, so it doesn't do that as much. But yeah, on a manual, you'll get this thrust bearing go out, and that crankshaft will start doing that in there. We're gonna plastic gauge, I don't know, a few, all of them, yeah.
Putting that on the right direction.
Because the dowels.
Not bad.
Yeah, between 2 and 3.
Really?
It's about 0.002.
Yeah, that'll work.
Again, there's 2. That's totally good.
Well, that one looks 1.5.
That's a 1.
Is that too tight?
Nah. It'll be alright.
1 thou on that one. Between 1 and 2, so 1.5.
1.5. I'm gonna wipe that plastic gauge out. Sure, put it on the side.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Hey, I'm just making sure. Making sure we don't have no flub ups here, buddy. And we'll put a little bit more on sealer on that, or not sealer, but hey, attaboy.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Attaboy.
There we go.
Yeah.
They're all torqued down.
I like it.
Yeah, it spins good. Not binding up.
No, it's good.
All right, we got the first gasket of the build going on. Let me see how this is supposed to be finagled on there. Cool, looks like it fits perfect. Big shout out to Cantor for helping to supply some of the parts for this. This is one of the gaskets in their kit. Looks like it fits perfect. Right there. Dad's starting to clean off some of these pistons, take the old rings, crack them, and then use it to clean the groove out. See all the carbon and junk that's in them rings. Gotta clean every single one of these grooves out before we can put the new rings on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to be very, very careful when we put those new rings on also, because you're not getting more. And sometimes you can break one when you're trying to bend them over the piston. Sometimes they go on easy, sometimes they're real tight, and it's easy to break them. It can be. So I want to put the cam in next, and I have it set up on my press here. This is a retainer that stops the camshaft from coming out. So here is a new retainer ring because I broke the old one. And here's a new gear because I also broke the gear. These things, it ain't my fault. These things are pressed onto these shafts so incredibly hard. It is hard not to break those gears. So you got to put it, let's see, on the Woodruff key. So wait, this is the dowel pin, the dowel, so that goes up. There we go. So that's fit over the Woodruff key. Should be able to press it on. It's going.
Set it down there in case it decides.
Okay. Let's see what it looks like on the... Should go probably a hair bit more until we're flush. Okay. There you go. And the retainer's still good. I like it. All right, we're ready to slip this bad boy in. I got all of the bearings in the engine lubricated. I got all of the cam lobes and also the bearing where the bearings ride on the cam lubricated, just for extra carefulness. You can't be too careful. Now we just slip it in. Try not to ding anything. I gotta get the crank and the cam lined up. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's a mark right there. think that's it. Which piston are you on now?
Last one.
Oh, last one. These things were pretty bad. We had to crack out this tool here that I bought a while back. Yeah, this has different bits on it that fit different ring lands, and it goes around the piston and you turn it and it helps to cut it, but we don't use them because they tend to cut the piston at the same time. But this one was so bad that we use this. You can see all the crap that was in those rings or in those lands. Some piston material. That doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it will fit. I got all the piston rings on the pistons, and then I went to go put the rod bearings on just to test them, and they don't fit right. I mean, kinda, but here we go. They fit like the circumference, but that notch is too big. It's got to fit in that slot. So we're gonna have to figure out some way to lightly grind that down so that it'll fit. Actually, Dad found this out. If you take this piston ring fits in there. Let's see. Yeah, see? So if we cut that to the width of this, we should be good. I don't know. We're gonna try this. Okay, not an ideal method, but it does fit. So I just have to do this very, very carefully to 11 more. We're gonna hit one in, okay? I ground 2 of those bearings down. We're gonna hit 1 piston in, do a plastic gauge on it, make sure everything looks good, and if it does, I'll go ahead and do the rest.
So as you're squeezing it, okay, see if it'll squeeze tighter.
There you go. They're about closed.
Keep it tight.
It's in. Feels solid.
I like it.
All right. This needs to go flush. One or a little tighter, but that's one.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Up.
Okay.
Keep it good and tight.
All right, it is.
All right. Tight?
Yeah.
Something's going on.
I don't know. Tap that in. Okay, yeah, tap the ring.
Ready?
Yeah.
Keep it tight.
All right. All the pistons are in, all of the connecting rods are bolted to the crank, it's all torqued, we plastic gauged every single one of them. All of them are sort of tight, they're all at about 1/1000 or maybe a smidge tighter, but the whole rotating assembly does turn. It's not tight, bound up, or locked up, so we're going to go with it. I think now would be the perfect time to bring something up while we're looking at the pistons and the bore and the stroke of this engine. People always wonder why inline sixes always have so much torque. You know, they say, oh, them inline sixes, they got so much torque because they're vertical. You know, just, oh, it's vertical, so it has more torque, you know. And most inline sixes do have quite a bit of torque, but why is it that inline sixes have more torque than horsepower and V8s don't have that same quality? There's actually a scientific reason behind that, and I want to explain that because it really is interesting how engines are designed, why they make the bore and the stroke, why they do it. It actually matters. So, as we all know, this is the bore, and then the up and down is the stroke. I wrote this down so that we could get an actual visual. You have three kinds of engines. You have over square engines, you have square engines, and under square engines. An over square engine is where the bore is wider than the stroke is long. So it will have a 5-inch bore and a 4-inch stroke, let's say. And what the shorter stroke allows an engine to do is to go up and down very, very quickly because it doesn't have a lot of up and down motion. So it can go like this very quickly. And if you look at a torque graph or a dyno graph, the horsepower will be higher than the torque, and these lines won't crisscross and meet. So these engines are designed for high RPM, they have more horsepower than torque. Examples are Formula One cars, Lamborghinis, supercars, you know, those cars that they get on the street and they ring, ring, ring. That's this kind of engine. A very wide bore and a very short stroke allows an engine to do this. So if you look, I just got this on the internet, a Formula One car has an 80 millimeter bore and a very short 53 millimeter stroke. That's a 33% difference. The bore is 33% wider than the stroke is long. That's a big difference. So then you go down to perfectly square engines. So over square, perfectly square, under square. A square engine has the same bore as it does stroke. And then the graph, a dyno graph for an engine like that will look like this, where typically they will about make the same torque and horsepower. The graphs will cross. These engines are designed for mid to high RPM, like a 350 or a small block or any V8 that you mess with. Ford, Chrysler, whatever, 350, 305, 383 stroker, 351 Windsor, whatever. If you get any V8 in your Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, and you put it on a dyno, the graph will look like this. It will not look like that because you don't have a Formula One car. So an example of this is a 350 Chevy where you have a 4-inch bore and a 3.4-inch stroke. They're not exact, but they're very close. It's only a 13% difference. The bore is only 13% bigger than the stroke is long. You'll see a small block Chevy advertised if you're looking to buy like a crate engine or something. It'll be like, you know, 380 horsepower, 410 foot-pounds of torque or something. Those numbers will be very, very close. They won't be far off. And then you have an under square engine where the stroke is much longer than the bore. This is where a lot of your Cummins come into play, a lot of your inline sixes come into play. It's not just because they're vertical against the earth and not like a V or whatever. It's actually because the stroke is longer than the bore is wide. So a graph for that will look like this. The torque will be up here, the horsepower will be down here, and they typically won't cross like this. So these engines are designed for low-end torque, low RPM. They have more torque than horsepower, and a 12-valve Cummins has a 4.02-inch bore and a 4.72 stroke. So the stroke is much longer than the bore, and that is how come those types of engines will have more torque than horsepower. I will give you a perfect example of this. This 302 cubic inch GMC engine has a 4-inch bore and a 4-inch stroke, so it's perfectly square. And if you look online, it makes 160 horsepower and 248 foot-pounds of torque, so more torque than horsepower. And you say, okay, but if you know the 12-valve Cummins also makes 160 horsepower, so how can this engine, this old 302 from the 50s, make the same horsepower as a 12-valve that was designed 30, 40 years later? The 4x4, 160 horsepower and 248 foot-pounds of torque, but the 12-valve makes 160 horsepower but 400 foot-pounds of torque. And the only difference is the stroke is longer. Actually, the bore is almost the exact same. 4-inch bore on the 302, 4.02 bore on the 12-valve Cummins. Almost the exact same. The only difference is the Cummins has a longer stroke, 0.72 inches longer. That's 3/4 of an inch longer, and that right there made all the difference in the torque. It boosted that torque number. So if you take an engine that's exactly the same and you change nothing except the stroke, you will get more torque. This right here is probably the biggest design flaw in these engines, having these bolts go through the other direction, because once you put the oil pan on, there's no way to take this timing cover off without taking the oil pan off, which is really bad design. We just took this apart so that we could make sure everything was good, and that we put Vaseline in this because the Vaseline dissolves in the oil whenever you start it up, and that Vaseline also kind of creates, it sort of seals it for a second so that when the gears start it creates a vacuum and pulls the oil up. Now, you don't always have to do this. I mean, you can put them in like that, and like typically when you start it up it will create its own vacuum, but the Vaseline ensures that it will pull. Yeah, that'll create a vacuum. Put a little more in there. So the oil pump is put together and on. There's two bolts that hold it in from here, and then there's this pipe, suction pipe, so that's tight against the block. I've looked over everything multiple times, the parts we have, to make sure there's nothing else that goes in here before we put the oil pan on, because I don't want to take it back apart. No. So we've checked everything multiple times, so I think we're good. This is a 4-piece gasket. It's not like a regular small block where they'll have like a rubber gasket that's just nice and formed. These cork gaskets are straight, and then you have to kind of glue them to the form of the main cap and then put silicone on each corner, because these two gaskets that go on the face aren't connected to the cork. And so yeah, it's just a big mess. Oh, no. It's back a little bit.
Yeah, just pull it down real easy.
So we'll put the 4 bolts that go on the corners and suck it down a little bit, and then we can put the rest on that go down the sides.
Whoa.
How Dad and I have always done oil pan bolts is that we put them in by hand, we'll snug them down with a gun, and then we'll tighten them to about the tightness of a wrist. Go over them a few times because sometimes when you tighten one, it loosens the other. Okay, the whole bottom of the engine's assembled. The pan is on, bolts are tight. I can see almost a perfect squeeze of silicone. We just put a little bit on both sides of the gasket just because these surfaces aren't always perfect. The gasket's nice and thick, but just a tiny film, and you can see it squishing out on both sides. So I think I'd bet money that that oil pan's going to seal. I don't think this thing's going to leak. Now it's turned around right. Now we're in head territory. Yeah, even though the head was cleaned and bronze valve guides put in, I didn't have them do a valve job because we can do that. Dad's got an old Sioux valve grinding machine, and yeah, it's pretty neat. So you guys will get to see some of that. When I got this box back from Oregon Cam Grinding, they put some writing on here, TB. Milk jugs 12, and I'm thinking, well, what do they mean by that? And if you take a look at the lifter, they kind of do look like a milk jug. Here, hold on, let me show you something. They kind of do look the same, huh? I never thought of that. Put some oil down up in there. Just a hollow jug. Yeah. Put a little bit of silicone around these freeze plugs.
Weird.
There you go.
You know what's weird? I've never had one leak.
Well, it's a technology that must work. Here we are down at Dad's place. He's got the valve grinding machine. We got the head sitting here. We got the valve sitting here. So like I said, These are new exhaust valves, and then we're gonna try to reuse the intakes. We're gonna cut them. What we'll do is we'll cut all the seats, we'll cut all the intake valves. The exhaust valves should be good. We shouldn't have to cut those, obviously. And then we'll lap them in, and that's it. So here's the valve grinding machine. So here is where you screw in your valve, right? And then this is the cutting wheel that cuts the valve. There's also that tool down there, and there's grinding wheel bits in there. And then that is what you use. You put that on here. You'll see. You'll see what I'm saying.
We'll have to reset it for 30.
All right.
Still doing her thing.
So what Dad's doing is truing up the stone that's rotating with this screw. It's a diamond tipped screw that can make the face of that perfectly flat. See it cutting?
And it really didn't. It was good. It was pretty good. Always take off as little as possible. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Here. So we're bringing the valve closer with this dial. You can just now hear it starting to hit the stone. Yeah.
See that one little...
See, as it's coming around, that dark spot, you want to get it to where it's like perfectly, the whole thing is perfectly shiny. That's how you know you're going to have a valve that seats. Now you can hear it in the grind. You know, when it goes past and it's going, that's hitting and then not hitting that black spot. It's missing it. When you hear that perfect ring, like all the way, everything's hitting all the way. Now it's starting to sound better. That looks pretty good.
Real good.
You hot?
Nice and warm.
Ooh, I can hear it sizzling. Yeah, we need to get more oil out of that thing. Valve number 2. Okay. Now we zero this out. So now that it's at 0, right, when you crank this in, you'll know how many thousandths you take off of the valve.
Still see a line.
Oh, you see a line, okay.
And you always unscrew it. You don't never twirl it off of there because it'll make a. You always undo it off of it.
Yeah, you don't push it back off with the lever.
Right. Let's see if this valve's a little cooler. So we took 7 thousandths off. Not too bad. Valve's not too hot. See?
Let's see it.
It's pretty.
There you go. You can see the face of it. You can see the face of it is perfectly shiny. No low spots or no imperfections. That is a valve that will seal. So now we're going to grind the seats. This is the tool you use for the seats. There's a stone here that's also 30 degrees, and you hit it with the 30-degree stone because it's a 30-degree valve, and they'll meet up and seal perfectly. It looks pretty good.
I generally do 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
What about right here?
We can hit it one more time.
Okay. It looks pretty good. Let me look at it.
Looks good.
So you can see this is the one we have not done. This is the one we have done. You can see a perfectly shiny ring around the entire thing. Here, I'll show you. See that? It's just like the valve. Perfect all the way around. Go ahead and do this one.
I'll spray it with some PB.
It's in there.
Good. If it don't go down far enough, see?
Oh.
It's got to go down far enough.
Oh. There it is.
Did 5 seconds.
Just one more time. That looks good.
Oh boy. How's that look?
Came out pretty good.
Well, leave her alone. If it looks good, leave her alone.
I could use another hit.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I like it. That's looking good.
Yeah.
Now the valve keepers.
So keep an eye on that O-ring. See that?
Okay.
Good. O-rings on it.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. They're all on. We'll get that nice 302 head gasket that Cantor so kindly sold me.
So up, down, usually your numbers go up. Yeah.
I'm saying that that's the only possible way it can go.
I'm saying that,
Look at the old gasket. So take it off real quick so you can. So here's like a water hole, and it's just gasket, right? Gasket. There's nothing. But put that one. Check it out. How it had copper sealing rings around all the holes. I mean, that's that. On these too. Look, copper, 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 copper. Take it off, and it's just gasket. Now I'm not blaming Cantor, but like that, the quality of stuff that they made back in the day was pretty intense. You know, copper sealing rings around every single water jacket hole. That's pretty cool.
No. I'm guiding you. I know where it's at.
All right, do the other side.
All right, man.
Ooh,
Something else going.
yeah.
Push rods. Hopefully there's enough room there for adjustment. Where's all the bolts for this? You know? Hanging around over there?
Yeah. Hold on, let me,
Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's a lot.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Here's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Preview them.
There. Put this one on the opposite side. This is the thermostat housing assembly, and this is kind of pitted, so put a little bit of silicone bead around there just to help take up some slack, some slop in there. And this hole goes into the water jacket. Yeah, one of them, this one's a blind hole, this one goes into the water jacket, so we want to make sure that this seals pretty good. So I'll set it on there. I'll do just a thin bead around the, not a lot, just a little. So I'm not gonna put silicone on these and tighten them permanently because I don't have a thermostat yet. I don't think. I've ordered one. I've had a lot of stuff sitting around. I can't remember what I got. So we'll just set this on here, and when we're ready, we'll do it permanent. Had to take the water pump back off because this pulley situation got crazy out of hand. I had to press the old pulley off of the old water pump, which was just, it took so long. I had to heat it up with a torch, dang near broke the pulley. It was crazy. And then we had to press it on the new one, so that just took hours and hours. So now we can re-put the water pump back on. Water pump is finally on. God, what a nightmare that was. Spins nice and free. We'll get some paint. We'll paint the pulleys black and the engine. I think the jimmies were red. So we just adjusted all the valves. Now the valve cover can officially go on. Looks good. Just beautiful. And there's two specialty nuts. They look like this, really weird looking. Before we hit it with some paint, brake clean it off and make sure there's no oil.
me to tell you. I can't believe how much trouble that water pump was, you know?
Yeah, water pump was terrible. So we put a couple of coats on this engine yesterday. It's the next day now, and gonna take all this tape off, and we'll start putting everything on, all the accessories and whatnot. Engine's looking really good. Yeah, these engines were crimson red. If you look it up, they were red as red can be. So we got red paint from O'Reilly. It looks good. I like it.
Ooh, look at you. How's it gonna seal? That big old vacuum.
So now we got pretty much everything hooked up. Carburetor's on, fuel pump. I had to go buy some fittings for the fuel pump. I plugged off the water heater ports. So now what we can do is we'll put some oil in it, and we took an old screwdriver. It's just a spade to drive the oil pump down in the bottom there. So we took an old screwdriver, cut the plastic off, and we got it hooked to a drill, because I don't usually make sure that there's oil pressure before I start an engine. But with this one, we're gonna make sure there's oil pressure. So this is zinc additive. We're gonna put 1540 oil in it. I don't even know why. What's up with this? Just pour it in there. We just use 1540 diesel oil, but for startup of this engine, we'll put some zinc ZDDP in it. Then we'll take the valve cover off, hit it with the drill, make sure it's getting oil everywhere. Okay, I don't know if it takes 4 or 6 quarts. Usually these inline 6s take more than a V8, which is kind of odd, but they usually do take a lot of oil.
Yeah.
Why didn't that thing go down all the way?
It did.
No, it didn't. I heard it hit something. What's it hitting? The bottom? Let me see. Yeah, see, it's
Yeah, see?
yeah, see,
Yeah, see?
slow. Still needs more.
Needs another quart for sure.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh,
I heard it.
ooh, I heard it.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, it's already coming out
It's
the top?
right here. So turn the engine. You can see right here. It's definitely getting it. And you can see it starting to come to the top. All right, there. There. Now, turbo 350s and turbo 400s are excellent transmissions. They're very strong. There's nothing wrong with them. But in my mind, if you have the capability, if a 4-speed is out there, why would you not get a 4-speed? Overdrive is where it's at. You get worse fuel mileage with a 3-speed and you can't go as fast even with good gears. I just do not understand the allure to a 3-speed at all. There was a guy I knew who built a Camaro or something. It was like a late 60s Camaro, and he built the engine and everything. He had a turbo 350 in it, 3-speed, and he said no matter what I did to that car, I could only get 13 miles to the gallon. I don't care how I tuned it, I don't care what I did, it was 13 miles to the gallon. He said I put a 700 R4 in it, 20 miles to the gallon all day, every day. It's that overdrive. And I've had trucks with 3-speeds in them, and you can't go more than 65. It's just, I just don't see a purpose to them. So a 700 is exactly what I wanted. I wanted the overdrive. I have a 700 in my GMC back there. When we built that truck, it's got a Chevy 305 and a 700 R4 from a station wagon. And that truck consistently turned in about 18 miles to the gallon for the 3 years that I drove it. So 4-speed is the way to go. I wouldn't go any other way. But what that brings me to is I have to have an adapter plate. The 700 won't bolt up to the pattern on this truck. So there's a guy in Washington who I paid, he makes these adapter plates, and he's making me one to go from the bell housing or the bolt pattern on the back of the engine to a 700 R4, and he's gonna give me a flywheel with it, and then I have the torque converter for that. So I should be able to just bolt that 700 right up to the back of the engine, bolt the flywheel to the engine, the flywheel to the torque converter, and it takes a small block starter, so it's gonna be way better. We're gonna be able to put a 4-speed behind this thing. It's gonna be great. And didn't you have a 3-speed in your 59 Chevy station wagon?
Yeah.
You had a 350, right?
Yeah, and I had 323 gear sets in it, and it still wouldn't 65. I mean, I put that 700 in it, and that's about the right gear sets for a 700.
Yeah.
320s, somewhere in that vicinity, and it'll go as fast as you want now.
Yeah.
But I never hooked up the lockup.
Right. And that's another cool thing that I got with this transmission. When I bought it from my buddy, he had a kit, a lockup kit, like an electronic lockup kit, because this torque converter has the ability to lock up, which essentially turns it into a manual. Having a lockup torque converter is awesome, and when we go to put that kit in, we'll see how it all works. But yeah, oh, here it is right here. Torque converter lockup kit. That is the bee's knees right there. I love it. before we started or put that bell housing on it, need to put that cam plug in it before I forget. Ah, well, it don't fit. I mean, it fits, but not really.
Whoa, get that sucker out of there. I think it can't fall in there, right? No.
I mean, it's just going in and out.
What size is that?
1 and 61/64. It's always something. It's never easy. So I measured this with my digital calipers and it measures 1.97, very, very close to 2 inch. This is a 2 inch plug and this hole measures exactly 2 inch. So a 2 inch would be too big, but it comes out to a 1 and 31/32 freeze plug, and the freeze plug, cam plug, core plug, whatever that they gave me is 1 and 61/64, which is very close to 1 and 31/32, but it's just one size too small. And I have another GMC engine out here that I bought a while ago that somebody like rebuilt. So I went and looked. 1 and 31/32. It is not 2 inches. It's not 1 and 61/64. So I called everybody in town, O'Reilly's, Merle's, which is now Napa, AutoZone, and nobody had it. The only person that could get it was O'Reilly's, and it wouldn't be here till 4 o'clock today. I called a place called Don's Hot Rod Shop, which is it's locally famous to Tucson. Don's Hot Rod Shop. It's an old hot rod shop, if you can believe that. And I called them up. They said they had one, if you can believe it. So we're gonna go down there and get it, and I want to show you this place because it's probably the only remaining old school auto parts supply place in town. This place has been around for quite some time. Offie, Hearst, Cyclone. Yeah, there used to be a neon sign out front that said Leo's Auto Supply, which was, I think, what this was before it was Don's Hot Rod Shop. And that sign was very old, and it came down and went to the Neon Sign Museum here in Tucson. Racing equipment. Yeah, this is the last of its kind here. They always got the door propped open because they have a swamp cooler instead of AC. Old Hemi. Parts on the wall. It's a pretty neat place. Chrome diff covers. Head gaskets. Edelbrock intakes. Heads. Look at that old water fountain. That's cool. Oh, these are timing plates. Put on your engine, it shows what your, yeah, timing tab plate. All right, we got our 1/32 cam plug. Saved my butt, only place in town that had it, man. Hopefully this thing fits.
That's good, don't go any farther.
All right. Hold on. Wait a minute. I don't get it. Let it down.
Great play.
Just put a little something right here. We're gonna put some hose water in the block just for testing purposes. We don't have obviously the fan or pulleys hooked up, but the water, it'll make it to where we can run it just a little bit longer. If it gets hot, it'll boil out. And when we put the engine in the truck, we can drain the water out with the plug on the side and put distilled water in it. Takes a lot of water when there's no rust in the block. I can see it coming up right here. There it goes. Sounds good. Good, man. Oh, man. Oh, we run out of fuel? That's weird. Now we're getting some fuel from the electric fuel pump. Should go now.
Well, I know, she must have been flooded. Go ahead. Start it up again. This time we have a hose running out here so we can keep putting water through it while it's running so it doesn't overheat. Well, that was a saga and a fiasco getting that engine put together. It's been months because, you know, I had to take the block to the machine shop, you know, and that takes forever. And then getting the cam ground took forever. They were in the middle of switching shops, so that took a long time. But we finally got this thing back together, and it runs great.
Runs real good.
Yeah.
Real sweet.
Runs absolutely perfect. It started up, no issue. And as soon as it started running, ran great. That fuel pump, you know, that mechanical one's a problem. I don't know what the deal is. I tested it before I put it on and I felt a suction, but when it's not forming a suction now, so it leads me to believe that the arm on it is not long enough to hit the cam right. I don't know, you know, you just, everything's junk. Everything you buy is just a piece of crap, I swear. I bought it for this truck too, it doesn't work. And I'm really happy with it. Like I said, I got that 700 R4. I have the guy in Washington making the adapter plate from the engine to the 700 R4. And I just ordered a ton of stuff for that GMC. I ordered a disc brake conversion kit for the front. I ordered a power brake conversion, so it'll have power dual reservoir. I ordered, you know, a wiring harness, tail lights. I ordered a tranny mount for the 700. I ordered a bunch of stuff to get I ordered a shifter for the 700. So yeah, I ordered a bunch of stuff. Truck's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be nice. I ordered the same shifter that's in my GMC. We put a low car shifter in it back when we were doing that truck, and I've been absolutely happy with it. They're a little pricey, but I've had that shifter in that truck for 15 years almost, and I love it. I love the way it looks. It's never done anything stupid. It's always worked. So yeah, I just bought the same one.
The main thing is having the neutral safety switch hooked up.
Yeah, it comes with a neutral safety switch hookup. So yeah, that's important. Also, do not forget, Blue Collar Drags is October 8th and 9th at Tucson Dragway. Duct tape drags moved up to Phoenix, and that's cool and all. Dalton, Junkyard Digs, me, Inevitable Jim, Buff's Garage, Atomic Era Motors, Mortsky is going to be there, and Farm Truck and Asian from Street Outlaws is going to be there. So either come as a racer, come as a spectator. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff going on. So make sure you get your tickets for that. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video.
And the weather should be nice.
The weather should be nice. Right now it's about 107 degrees as we stand here, and it's sucks. October should be pretty good. And we really appreciate you supporting the channel by watching these videos all the way through. And if you want to support the channel in a more direct way, you can pick yourself up a t-shirt. We got a couple of designs. We have a Cummins one, we have the 46 International, and then we also have a red cap button-up shirt. Yeah.
They're good shirts.
Yeah, it's a red.
They hang in there real good, and I'm rough with stuff.
Yeah, it's a Red Cap brand, which is a really good brand. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of us putting this engine back together. We will see you guys very soon in the next video.
Bye.